Homeless and addicted, forgotten streets. America, the land of opportunity. A nation of skyscrapers, wealth and ambition. A country that proudly calls itself the richest in the world. But beneath the bright lights of success, hidden in the alleys and sidewalks, lies a darker truth. Tens of thousands sleep in tents, under bridges, or in abandoned buildings. They are the forgotten, homeless, struggling, and addicted. For them, the American dream is no more than a cruel illusion. This is the reality of America's streets, a story of survival, addiction, and despair. Every night across the United States, close to 600,000 people are homeless. That's more than the entire population of some small city. And among them, countless lives are consumed by addiction. Cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Seattle have become epicenters of this crisis. Skid Row in Los Angeles is perhaps the most infamous. Thousands of tents line the sidewalks, stretching for blocks. The smell of human waste mixes with smoke from makeshift fires. Used needles litter the ground. For many here, life is a daily fight between hunger and the next hit. And this crisis isn't limited to the big cities. Across small towns and suburbs, opioid addiction has destroyed family, hollowed out communities, and left people wandering the streets with nowhere to go. The roots of this tragedy run deep. For many, it begins with poverty, a lost job, a medical emergency that drains savings, rising rents that push families onto the streets. For others, the story begins inside a doctor's office. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, pharmaceutical companies pushed opioids, powerful painkillers, claiming they were safe. Doctors prescribed them freely, but these pills were highly addictive, and when prescriptions ran out, people turned to cheaper alternatives: heroin, meth, and eventually fentanyl. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid, is now the deadliest drug in America. Just a few grains can kill. It's cheap, powerful, and everywhere. It has transformed homelessness into a death sentence for many. Every day, more than 150 Americans die from opioid overdoses. That's like a passenger jet crashing every single day. And yet, this disaster often goes unnoticed by those not directly touched by it. For people on the streets, drugs are both an escape and a trap. An escape from the biting cold of winter nights, from the fear of being attacked, from the shame of being invisible. But also a trap. A cycle that grows tighter with every dose. Look closer at these tents and alleyways, and you'll find not just addicts, but stories. A veteran who returned from war with trauma too heavy to carry. A mother who lost her children after falling into addiction. A teenager rejected by family and left to fend for themselves. These are not faceless statistics. They are human beings, each carrying pain and history. A large number of the homeless suffer from untreated mental illness, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, severe depression. Many turn to drugs to silence the voices in their heads or to numb the crushing weight of reality. Instead of hospitals or proper care, America often gives them jail cells. Police sweep homeless camps, clearing tents only for them to return days later. Addiction and mental illness are treated as crimes, not as health emergencies. This cycle fills prisons while doing nothing to heal the suffering. And so, the streets remain full. The problem remains unsolved. Why does the crisis persist? Because homelessness in America isn't just about drugs, it's about inequality. In many cities, the cost of housing has skyrocketed. A single-bedroom apartment can cost more than $2,000 a month. For those living paycheck to paycheck, one missed payment means eviction. And once you lose a home, climbing back is nearly impossible. At the same time, affordable treatment programs are scarce. Waiting lists for rehab can stretch for months. Mental health clinics are underfunded. Shelters are overcrowded, unsafe, and often turn people away. The system is broken, and those who fall into its cracks rarely make it out. Cities across America try different approaches. Some launch housing-first programs, giving people apartments before demanding sobriety. Others rely on law enforcement, arresting addicts and clearing camps. Neither solution has brought lasting change. The truth is, there is no simple answer. Without addressing root causes, poverty, lack of mental health, care, and the flood of dangerous drugs, homelessness and addiction will continue to grow. Meanwhile, debates rage. Should cities provide clean needles to prevent disease? Should they build supervised drug consumption sites to reduce overdoses? Or does that only encourage addiction? Every option divides communities while lives are lost in the crossfire. The damage spreads far beyond city streets. Families are torn apart. Children grow up without parents. Entire communities are hollowed out by addiction. Funeral homes see more overdoses than ever before. And still, the cycle continues. Because once someone falls into addiction and homelessness, society rarely offers a hand strong enough to pull them out. Instead, most walk past, pretending not to see. Yet even in the darkest corners, there are glimmers of hope. Outreach workers who spend nights delivering food, blankets, and Narcan, the drug that reverses overdoses. Churches and nonprofits that provide shelter and a chance at recovery. Combined with strong addiction treatment and mental health support, lives are rebuilt. People leave the streets, regain their dignity, and start over. But these successes are small compared to the scale of the crisis. For every person saved, many more are lost. The story of homelessness and addiction is not just about drugs. It is about America's soul. How a nation treats its most vulnerable says more than its wealth, power, or pride ever could. Behind every tent is a story. Behind every overdose is a family's grief. And behind every statistic is a human life. The streets of America are crying out. The question is, will we listen? Or will we keep walking by? Thank you for watching Peril TV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the world's most dangerous places, untold truths, and hidden realities.